Hi guys, I'm Grace and I'm going to take you through a 10-minute reformer workout just doing our feet and straps. So I'm starting on with one red and one blue, so that's 1.5 springs. And all you're going to do is lie onto your back to start with. Place your feet on the foot bar, grab hold of your long loops, press away from your foot bar and then put one foot into the long loops at a time. That way your legs will be at 45 degrees. With your arms, you just want them by your side and you've got your nice neutral spine. So your tailbone's heavy, you've got a gap between the small of your back and the carriage, and just find width across your chest. On an inhale breath, I want you to start to float the legs up towards the ceiling as far as you can without letting your pelvis tilt. And then you're going to exhale, reach down through the backs of the legs, send the legs away from you as far as you can without letting your pelvis tilt in the other direction. So we're inhale, floating the legs up. And then exhale, reaching down through the backs of the legs. Nice and strong through the legs, belly buttons drawing into your spine, and just getting that stretch and release through the backs of the legs. You're finding where your legs float up to. It doesn't matter how far they come back towards you, it just matters about your pelvic stability here. So inhale, floating up, exhale, reaching away. On this next one, you're going to float your legs up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to open our legs out as wide as a foot bar. You're going to circle your legs down and around, connect your heels together, and then float your legs back up towards the ceiling. So we're opening out, circling down and around, belly buttons drawing to your spine. And I just want you to make your circles nice and controlled here. So it's all about that pelvic stability. If you start to feel your pelvis rocking from side to side or back and forth, you can always make your circles a little bit smaller. Another way to check this is you can place your hands onto your hip bones, and if you start to feel that your pelvis is wobbly, make your circle smaller and make it more controlled. Take your time with it. Think about drawing your belly button to your spine, and also switch on your pelvic floor, which is that sensation of holding a wee. Let's do one more circle in this direction. Opening out, circling down and around, connecting your heels together. Now we're ready to reverse it. So we're going to reach down through the backs of the legs, open just as wide as a foot bar, float up towards the ceiling, and then again, exhale, pulling down. Legs are nice and strong still. Once you feel like you've got that pelvic stability, you can always place your hands on the carriage. Exhaling, reaching down. Inhale, opening out, just allowing your femur to roll around within your hip socket, nice and controlled here. And again, draw your belly button away from your pant line. That helps to switch on your deep abdominal muscles. We've got 3 more here. Exhale, reaching down, opening out nice and wide. You've got your final 2. We've got that nice neutral spine. Last one here, exhaling, reaching down, circling down and around. Connect your feet together. You're going to come down to 45 degrees. Keep your heels together. Now separate your toes. So you're in your Pilates V position. On an inhale breath, you're going to bend your knees. As you exhale, you're going to drive out through your legs. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And again, inhaling here. Exhale, pressing out all the way, finding length. Inhaling to bend. Exhale, driving away. Using your breath, tailbone's nice and heavy. You've still got the gap between the small of your back and the carriage. Exhale, pressing away. Squeezing the inner thighs, keeping those heels glued together. We've got our last 3 here. Inhaling, exhaling to press away. You've got your final 2, tailbone's nice and heavy. And you've got your last one here. You're going to keep your legs out nice and long. So you've got the option, you can either continue your froggies, or if you'd like to come to short spine, we're going to do that next. So if you're going to come into short spine, come to parallel with your feet. Arms are by your side. On an inhale breath, start to float the legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to peel our tailbone off, roll up high into your shoulder girdle. Make sure that you've still got tension on your straps. Keep your hips up nice and high. You're going to bend your knees in close towards your face. Keep the same distance between your heels and your bottom as you start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Once your tailbone anchors, I want you to press out all the way. And again, inhaling here, start to peel your tailbone off. Draw the carriage all the way into the stopper. Bend your knees in close towards your face. Roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Once your tailbone anchors, you can press out all the way. And again, inhaling, floating the legs up, peeling your tailbone off, bending your knees. You can always come into a diamond shape if you want to, or you can keep the legs in parallel, rolling yourself down. You should feel a really nice stretch through your back. Lengthen the legs out all the way. We're going to come into a hamstring stretch here, so keep your tailbone anchored, float the legs up towards the ceiling, flex your feet so you get more of a neural stretch, and grab hold on your ropes here. You get a nice release through the back of your legs. Keep your tailbone nice and heavy. And all you're going to do now is open your legs out wide, get your inner thigh stretch and release. You can add in a tiny little rock onto those ropes. So you're just rocking on your sacrum, nothing too crazy that you're going to fall off the carriage. And then from here, draw your legs back together. We're going to come into something called a chicken wing stretch. So this is going to stretch your quad muscles. We're taking our left loop out of our left foot. Find the foot bar with your left foot. Straighten out through both legs. From here, I want you to bend your right knee. Your heel is going to continue coming down to the side of the reformer. Keep your right knee up against the frame of the reformer. And once you're in this position, I want you to start to bend your left knee. Your right leg will start to get pulled back and you'll feel a really nice stretch through your quad muscle here. You might feel it through your hip flexor if you're really tight. But the aim is to keep the backs of your ribs engaged onto the carriage. Keep your hips square and keep your right knee up against the frame of the reformer. That way you get that true stretch. If this doesn't feel comfortable, then you can get out of it and come into another stretch that does feel comfortable. But from here, I want you to take a nice deep belly breath. You're inhaling through the nose, expanding your rib cage out wide. And exhale, you're just going to fully release your breath. And again, inhaling. And then exhaling. One more deep belly breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, fully release your breath. And you're going to press into your left foot. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. We haven't quite finished on the right leg. Once you're in this position, you're now going to draw your right leg across your body. You'll start to feel a neural stretch. So you might start to feel it through your ITB, your calf, or your ankle. If you're feeling it quite intensely, it just means that your nerves are on tension, so we're helping to release them. If you're not feeling this stretch, you can bend your left knee and then you might get a deeper stretch there. And again, just focus on your deep belly breaths here. One more deep belly breath, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, fully release that breath. Start to straighten through your left leg, draw your right leg back through the center. Let's take your foot out of that loop. We're swapping over to the other side. So we're getting our chicken wing stretch on our left leg. Remember to straighten through your right leg to start with. You're going to lower your left leg down to the side of the reformer. Keep your hips nice and square. And then slowly start to bend your knee. So the more that you bend your knee, the more of a stretch you're going to start to feel through your quad muscle. And know that you can always temper this stretch too. So if it's too intense, you can start to press out on the right leg. That way it takes that resistance off on the left. Remembering to keep your hips square, your left knee's up against the frame of the reformer. Taking those nice deep belly breaths, just relaxing into this stretch here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, fully releasing it. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. And again. Start to press through your right foot. You're going to reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Keep your left leg nice and straight. Now let's draw it across the body so you're in your neural stretch. Keep both hips nice and heavy. If you're not feeling it, remember you can always bend your right knee. If you are feeling it, let's try and breathe through it. Taking your nice deep belly breaths, expanding your ribcage out wide. Exhaling. And just feel your leg drop over even more. Once you relax into it, I promise it gets better. Once you finish this next breath, I just want you to draw your left leg back through center. You're going to bend your right knee, take your foot out of that left fluffy. Grab hold of your shoulder rest with both hands, and with both heels, place them wide onto the foot bar. You're now just going to drop them over from one side to the other. Get that stretch and release through your back. One more either side. And once you feel like you've stretched out, you're all finished. That is your feet and straps for your reformer class. So I hope you enjoyed.